guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new fashion video. I have for you one of my favourite videos, and that is my ultimate autumn capsule wardrobe video. So if you are looking to really streamline your wardrobe and make sure you have the core fundamental basics in your wardrobe for versatile, endless, classic outfits, then this video is for you. Now, I am fully aware that I do this video every single year and not really much changes, so I thought this year I would change my approach to this video a bit slightly and actually whittle it down and give you a 20-piece capsule wardrobe. This is essentially, if you were to take my dressing room away from me and I had to start again from the beginning, these would be the first 20 pieces that I would get for my wardrobe. Obviously you can expand on it, you can have a 30-piece capsule wardrobe, you could have a 50-piece, whatever floats your boat. I thought I'd give you my 20 essentials that honestly I could not live without in the autumn. I would feel pretty stuck if I didn't have these pieces with me. So let's jump straight in and I'll give you my top 20 autumn essentials. Starting off with the white t-shirt. Now I know a white t-shirt is not exactly groundbreaking, but it is an essential in the autumn and it's all about the layering. It's rare that we'll be able to go out in the autumn with just a t-shirt on. Maybe by the afternoon if you're in the UK, you know what the weather's like here, we go out and it's cold in the morning, it's warm by the afternoon, and sometimes a t-shirt is appropriate, but I think these are so essential for layering, putting underneath cardigans, jumpers, blazers, jackets. They're just an absolute essential, and if you do stick to your bog standard classic white t-shirt, you can never go wrong. It goes with every single colour. It's a really good basic base layer to have in the wardrobe. I personally prefer something more boxy and heavyweight, like the ones from Arket or from COS. I don't like anything too fitted or streamlined. I feel like these give a really classic silhouette to every single outfit. Now, as the temperature starts to drop, we know the knitwear comes out, so I think it's so essential to have really fine knitwear in your wardrobe. It's essentially a warm t-shirt, this top is. So fine knitwear, we're not talking big chumpy? We're not talking big chunky cable knit jumpers. We are talking lightweight, light cashmere, light wool blends. Something that will add a little bit of warmth to your outfit, but you're not going to be sweating in them. And I do recommend a couple of different shape silhouettes. Something like this I really love, and you can also actually layer this over a white top as well, so it's multi-purpose. This is a polo V-neck style, goes really well with jeans, with wide leg trousers. Very classy piece to have in the wardrobe. It always feels slightly more elevated than just your plain average t-shirt. But I also definitely recommend getting some turtlenecks. Now, early September, when we're kind of on the brink of autumn, it's perhaps slightly too warm to bring out the turtlenecks, but definitely come October time when that temperature starts to drop and we want our neck covered, I think you can't beat a classic turtleneck. Now, I would have these in all of the neutral colours, to be honest. I'd have them in black, cream, tan, just to cover all bases. But if I was going to choose one, the black one would definitely be my first port of call. I love layering these underneath shirts, blazers. They're just lovely. I really recommend getting one from the high street, such as Zara, Mango, COS, and other stores. They have some really great ones. But if you're not a turtleneck lover, if you don't like perhaps any excess fabric around your neck, just a plain simple round neck long sleeve would do the job as well. Okay, now as we move into the cooler months of the autumn, the chunkier knitwear does start to make an appearance, so you definitely need to start stocking up on your comfy knitwear. Now, if I was going to choose just one jumper out of my wardrobe for the autumn, it would definitely be this one. I honestly call this my pumpkin spice jumper because I feel like this is the most perfect autumn colour ever. It looks beautiful layered over a white shirt. I love layering this over a white t-shirt with the top just peeking through, throwing it on with some leggings, boots, jeans, wide leg trousers, you name it, this jumper goes with it. But again, Jumpers are very much personal preference with what colours you choose to have. You may choose more cooler tone of colours, perhaps black, grey. I like to add a little bit of warmth in the autumn. I'm clinging on to the autumn sunshine with my colours at this time of year. Speaking of knitwear, I could not get through the autumn without my cardigans. Now, again, depending on your personal preference, you may choose a different silhouette to the one that I do. You may prefer perhaps more of a V-neck or maybe a long cardigan. For me, I prefer a short cardigan, round neck with buttons all the way down. This way you can wear it open just as an extra layer and show off whatever top you've got underneath, or you can have it buttoned up to the top. Or you could wear it the more sort of modern way where you just button up the top button and you kind of look a little bit like Superman, but it is the modern way to wear them. However, again, I just could not live without these. I love this as a layer. When it's warm, taking it off and just wrapping it around your shoulders, so crucial to the wardrobe. Now, I do actually have this in another colour. I have this in grey. This is a new one. I picked this brown one up from Under the Stories because I am slightly obsessed with the colour brown. It won't surprise you, there's more brown items to come. But I think for the autumn, something like this, you just can't go wrong. There are so many ways to style up a simple cardigan like this in the autumn. You may prefer perhaps a striped cardigan or more of a cable knit cardigan. For me, something like this is an alpaca wool blend cardigan. It's not itchy, really lovely. It's not too heavy, so it's the perfect layering piece for me. Okay, let's move on to some jeans. I personally think it's worth having jeans in dark blue, a mid-wash blue, black and an off-white colour in the autumn. I think if you've got those jeans covered, you have honestly covered all bases. However, I did say this was a capsule wardrobe video where I was just going to make it very minimal and talk about my first 20 pieces. So for me, in the autumn, I feel like a dark wash blue denim straight leg jean would definitely be my first go-to. There's something about a darker, richer colour of jean that just adds a bit of autumnness to an outfit. I do really love an off-white pair of jeans as well, especially in the early autumn, that kind of more transitional phase when you've got the warm autumn sunshine and you're not quite ready to give up the lighter coloured bottoms. But I would say if I was going to get my first pair of jeans, it would be a dark wash pair of straight leg jeans. I would then add in a mid-wash, something like the jeans I'm wearing. These are a wide leg pair from Zara. I would then opt for black. I also absolutely cannot get through the autumn without my tailored trousers. Now, these ones are a relatively recent update to the wardrobe. I'm just going to pull the zip up on them because they're falling about everywhere. These were from Lily Silk. These are a pair of wide leg trousers, and I think you'll agree, these have autumn written all over them. They look so beautiful with plain white t-shirts, a cream knit, a cardigan. They pair beautifully with the brown cardigan that I showed you earlier. And these are great when you want just that little bit more of a step up from perhaps a pair of jeans, or you want that perfect pair of trousers to wear in the office. These look lovely with ankle boots, trainers, ballet flats. They really are a core staple. But again, if brown isn't your colour, you may prefer a camel colour, you may prefer cream, black. I don't think it hurts to get them in multiple colours, but these would probably be my first purchase. Another essential in the wardrobe for autumn, and this is something that I don't see too many people mentioning. I feel like these get forgotten about, but these are definitely one of my most worn items for the next sort of 2 to 3 months, and that is a pair of black tailored shorts. I do not leave my shorts behind in the summer. I think a good heavy pair, a heavy duty pair of shorts like this with tights, knee-high boots, it's the perfect autumn uniform in my point of view. These ones were from Goelia. I've had these for a couple of years now. My recommendation is to get a heavier pair of shorts, something that's not too short and cuts you off kind of mid-thigh. That's super flattering for your thighs, and definitely something with belt loops. You want to be able to pair all of your belts with these, tucking in your jumpers, wearing with an oversized blazer, a pair of tights. I just love a good pair of shorts in the autumn. Okay, moving on, we have to talk blazers. Now, I could definitely stand here and show you my array of blazers in different colours because I am a bit of a blazer collector, and I could also stand here and show you my classic black blazer and things that maybe are perhaps a given. However, if we're going to keep this very seasonal, if we're just talking autumn, honestly my first purchase before a black blazer in the autumn would be a tweed or a herringbone blazer. Something like this, something that's a wool blend. I've had this for a couple of years now, but you can see it's got that herringbone wool blend fabric and it's just beautiful. It adds a really delicate warmth to outfits. Now don't get me wrong, I obviously do still reach for my black blazer, but I'd say at this time of year I definitely go for more of this sort of style over a black blazer. I also really advise getting a fine knit dress in the autumn. Now for me, I think it's still a little bit too warm to be wearing full-blown woolly maxi dresses that perhaps I'd save for the winter, but a really fine knit dress like this was from Under the Stories, the perfect piece to wear with your knee-high boots, whether you want to dress it up with a pair of heeled knee-high boots or make it more casual, throw on a trench coat, a flat pair of knee-high boots, and it looks just as lovely. A really good outfit option for when you just can't be bothered to think of an outfit to put together, to be honest, and you want to just throw on a dress and go. You can also layer it with your jumpers and wear them over the top of these so it looks like you're wearing a jumper and a skirt combination, or you can throw on a cardigan around the shoulders. The possibilities are endless with a dress like this, so definitely one of my go-tos. And I can't mention a dress without, of course, mentioning a skirt. Now, again, personal preference, you may prefer more of a mini skirt. I've got a couple of mini skirts in almost like this kind of fabric, like a tweed herringbone, which definitely get the wear. However, I'd say my personal preference is a maxi skirt, and I'd say my preference again has changed with this. I used to really love wearing a maxi satin skirt, and I do think satin skirts definitely have their place in a capsule wardrobe, but again, as we're talking about the first pieces that I would buy, personally I prefer something a little bit more A-line shape now, something that really mimics the kind of shapes and designs that I wear in the summer, but just an autumn version. I actually have this lovely beige A-line skirt from Lily Silk. This goes so lovely with these kind of autumnal colours, and I just find it really flattering for the kind of tops that I like to wear. I do still wear satin skirts, but I'd just say for me personally an A-line is more in line with my style now. So that's another thing to mention with a capsule wardrobe. Just because I'm telling you to buy it, if it's not in line with your style, your capsule wardrobe has to work for you at the end of the day. It's no good filling your wardrobe with stuff that you've only bought because someone online said that's what you need. You need to really look in your wardrobe and at the shapes, the silhouettes, the cuts of things that you prefer, and really tailor it for you. So that's what I've done with the skirt. Okay, moving on to coats and jackets. I found this really hard to whittle down because I am a bit of a jacket and coats collector. I do love them. However, I can't not give the classic trench coat a mention. I've had this for years now. If you've been watching my channel, you'll have seen this jacket time and time again. My Burberry trench coat. I absolutely love this. This is the Waterloo Long Heritage coat, and it's honestly, the cost per wear of this coat right now is so low because I just wear it all the time. Now when looking for a trench coat, again, you may want to choose a different colour. You may prefer maybe something darker or maybe a khaki colour. For me, this kind of colour of trench coat will always be a classic, so it's going to keep appearing in all of my autumn capsule wardrobe videos. Another essential for this time of year is definitely a short jacket, but there are so many short jackets right now. This really does come down to personal preference, what your style is. You may prefer a short trench coat. Crop trenches are very, very on trend right now, and you may find yourself reaching for one of those. I know I've still got mine from about 2 years ago that I still love wearing. For autumn 2025 though, I am going to go for a short suede jacket, because this is definitely a jacket that I just reach for over and over and over again. It goes with everything that you see here, and out of all my short jackets currently, this is definitely the one that I feel is really quite classic and capsule to me. So hence I'm showing you this one. But there's one more coat. Now this one doesn't come out until the slightly cooler months, but definitely worth getting a wool long coat, because we know what it's like in September. We know it's warm. Come November, absolutely freezing. We definitely need a lovely long coat. Really good for more formal occasions, going to the office, going to work, but also pairing casually. Again, it goes with everything. This one was from H&M, just a long chocolate brown coat, the perfect colour for the autumn. You might prefer perhaps something in black or grey. For me, I love a bit of brown in the autumn, as we can tell. So this is the one that I would go for, and it honestly does add such a classy vibe to all of these outfits. Moving on to shoes, I've got a few pairs to show you, starting with a pair of neutral ballet flats. We all need our good flat shoes in the autumn winter, and these are great. Now you may prefer perhaps a suede pair, very on trend right now. I think you can't go wrong with a classic leather pair of ballet flats. A little bit more appropriate for perhaps the colder, more wet weather. I love how these pair with my trench coat outfits. I love how they look with my chunky jumpers, with the skirt, with jeans. They're just a real good go-to pair of shoes. Another pair of go-to flat shoes for me are my trainers. We all need comfy trainers. Whatever colour, design, style you choose, I think is totally up to you. For me and my style, I don't like big chunky trainers. I like something more slimlined. Basically these are the trainers version of ballet flats in my point of view. So I have my chocolate brown Adidas trainers, and these, as you can see by the colour palette in my wardrobe, these go really, really well when I just want that comfy pair of shoes to throw on and go. However, one of my favourite things about the autumn is the fact that the autumn boots come back out. So for me, personally, I don't think you can ever own enough pair of boots. I would have a pair of boots in every single colour, but like I said, we're keeping it minimal today, so my first go-to pair would be a pair of brown ankle boots. I wear these to death. These are from Mint Velvet. I love them, really, really nice. But another pair of boots I would also say are a definite go-to are a pair of knee-high black leather boots. I love these. These are very much kind of like a riding style type of boot. These were from Massimo Dutti. The other boots, by the way, were from Mint Velvet. I think it's so important to have boots, not just in black, but in brown as well, just to mix it up with the warm tones and the cool tones. So yeah, my first boot would probably be a long pair of black boots like this, and I would go for the brown pair, but I just love these. I wear these all the time. They're so good to wear with tights and shorts, tucking in your jeans to them, just perfect. And then finally, I can't leave this video without talking about a couple of handbags. I do really think accessories are so important in the autumn, and I could create a whole video around the accessories I would have that perhaps wouldn't be so much in a capsule wardrobe, but really do add a bit of pizzazz to a capsule wardrobe. So if you want to see that video where I show you like my ultimate autumn accessories, then let me know down below and I'll get that filmed. But we're reining it in, we're keeping it minimal. So a very classic black leather bag, I feel, is an absolute must. Now, I am not suggesting that this has to be designer. There are some such good high street alternatives. I obviously use a black handbag a lot, so I wanted to invest and buy a Fendi Peekaboo. I love these handbags. I've got a couple of these now. I just love the shape and the structure of them, but definitely the sort of bag that will see you through the autumn winter. But as you'll have noticed with the accessories, we did have black and we had brown shoes as well, so I also think it's definitely worth investing in a brown handbag. Now again, personal preference, you may choose to have a bag like this with more shape or more structure, but I wanted to show you an alternative in this mint velvet suede tote bag, something a little bit more casual, something you would throw on and go with, just to show you that it doesn't have to be an exact replica of the bags that I'm showing you. It has to suit your style and ultimately what your wardrobe has to serve for you. I would happily have a black and brown bag in every single shape and structure going because I use them so much, but I did just want to show you those kind of alternatives. And I also think it's really good to mix up the textures. We don't just want a load of leather bags. It's nice to have a suede bag, maybe, I don't know, a fluffy bag, and have alternatives to add a different edge to your outfits. But this one from Mint Velvet, a very, very good buy in my point of view. And there you have it, 20 pieces that create the ultimate autumn capsule wardrobe. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know what other autumn videos you want to see from me, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.